With Veterans Day right around the corner, as we honor all of those who have served our country, it is important to talk about the challenges that veterans face when they return to civilian life. I talked to Dr. Tom Britton, the president of the Gateway Foundation, and Martin Stauffer, a veteran and Gateway counselor, about the impact addiction has on veterans.
Military veterans have a little bit of a different situation because, to begin with, most people enter the military at a very vulnerable age and are stationed oftentimes far away from home and their support network. They project that warrior mentality that we must develop, and quite often there's a suppression of emotions due to that, and a lot of times personnel come home, veterans come home and find that they feel alone. They feel like there's no one that could understand what they're going through, and tend to isolate, and a lot of times won't reach out for help when they need help.
Yeah. You had a situation where you dealt with substance abuse.
Yes.
What brought yours on, and how did you seek help?
I started using substances when I was a teenager. Really enjoyed the escape that it offered me from myself, and years later I look back and realized that there was some unresolved trauma there that I was self-medicating, which what we find out is the case with a lot of substance use. My personal use lasted through my military years in the military, and about 20 years.
Are we talking alcohol or
alcohol,
drugs?
Marijuana to start with, and then I began using meth early on as well, on occasion of using it. So it really consumed my life completely, and took me down some really dark roads before I entered into recovery. And it wasn't until I really not only accepted that I had a problem, but accepted the fact that I couldn't do it on my own, that I needed to reach out for help.
And doctor, what is the first step for someone who is trying to decide, do I really have a problem, or am I just overindulging every once in a while?
What's funny is the people that reach out for help, they typically know that they have a problem much earlier than before they reach out. And I think the most important thing for people to understand is they don't need to figure it out themselves. Programs like Gateway Foundation, all you need to do is call, and we can talk to you and help figure out, number one, do you have a problem at all? And number two, what's the right place for you to start care? Is it residential care, outpatient care, social support, whatever it might be.
How is it different for veterans?
So it's interesting about veterans. We, for example, treat every person uniquely, and every person has unique issues. Veterans often have a much higher level of trauma, depression, anxiety, and also suicidal thinking. There's 20% of the suicide deaths were veterans, and they're only 10% of the population. And so kind of what they present with, they need a much more targeted type of treatment.
And Martin, what do you tell veterans when they come to you? Hey man, what should I do? How do I handle this?
So, it's important that we let veterans know there is help available. There are support groups out there for veterans, trauma support, substance abuse support groups, our faith-based support groups. Personally, I connected with a lot of the guys I serve with through social media, and we really support one another in a lot of ways. One of the guys said, back then we brought out the best in each other, and now we can do that again in different ways, and really support one another in moving forward with our lives. And of course, yes, at Gateway Foundation, we have professional counselors and caring staff that are eager to help our veterans if they give us a call.
Yeah, and is this going to be a situation where they can expect to take one step forward, two steps back, or should they expect maybe a situation where they may encounter some tough times as they try to go through this recovery process?
I think every person's journey is unique. That I'm a person in long-term recovery too. And, I was one of the unique ones that when I first asked for help, I haven't used since that time. But a lot of people, they go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think the bottom line is that no matter how many times they've tried, that they can succeed in that next time, and that's okay.